Greetings of the day, dear friends. Precis writing. As you all know, writing is a skill. There are three classes of writers: those who think before they write, those who think while they are writing, and those who think after they have written. Writing is really precious. There are several types of writings where we can discuss how techniques are followed. A précis is the gist or the main theme of the passage expressed in as few words as possible. A précis may be defined as a restatement in shortened form of the main idea in a piece of writing. It should be clearly understood. It's not just putting in different words from the original content. It is neither a paraphrase of the original passage nor a list of its main points. It is a piece of continuous writing, and so, in order to be effective, it should possess qualities such as proper organization of ideas, logical sequencing of points, and the use of that variety of language which the situation demands. Characteristics of a précis writing. There are three characteristics which can describe a précis. Completeness. A précis should cover the essential content of the given passage. It should not omit any important fact or idea. Number two, clarity. It should express the meaning of the original passage clearly and be free from all ambiguities and redundancies. Without reading the original, one should be able to get the main message through the précis. Number three, conciseness. A précis must be brief and precise. It should be coherent piece of writing and presenting the argument logically. Naturally, a patched up thing will not do. It would be a poor précis indeed if we tried to produce a smaller version of the original by mere omission of certain words, phrases, and clauses. 10 golden rules for writing a good précis. Number 1. Determine the theme of the passage very carefully. It is very important to find out the central idea of the theme of the passage. Soon, one needs to analyze the passage to separate the major points from the minor ones, and the various points becomes major only in relation to the central or main theme of the passage. Précis is not the reproduction of important sentences. Don't form précis by reproducing a few sentences and deleting others. Précis writing is not the art of selection and deleting. It is the art of remodeling. Number 3, brevity is good, but not at the cost of clarity. Brevity is the soul of précis writing, but brevity is not to be achieved at any cost of clarity. If the addition or retention of a few words adds to the clarity of the précis, they should be included by all means. Number 4, précis ought to be intelligible even to a person who has not read the original passage. This is extremely important. Who is familiar with the original passage, of course, enjoys an additional advantage. He is in the position to compare the two versions and find out how far we have faithfully reproduced the facts or preserved the spirit of the original passage. But who has not read the original passage has to judge a performance only from what we have written. To be precise, but intelligently. Number 5, use your own language. Prezi has to be written as far as possible in our own words. Prezi writing is a test as much as of a comprehension as of a expression. Besides, while summarizing the original ideas, we will often find that the language of the Prezi is more a hindrance than a help. We cannot help retaining a few significant phrases or technical terms, but be sure that sentence structure is entirely our own. Number 7, use discretion in statistical form. If the statistics figures have been included to a certain generalized facts, we can safely omit them. But if the figures are the basic to the very understanding of the general drift of the passage, they have to be retained. Number 8, observe proportion. A passage should be well proportioned. Each part of the original passage should be dealt with according to its relative importance and not according to the space assigned to it. Number 9, no personal comments. We are not supposed to give any comments, appreciative or critical, on the ideas expressed in the passage. Our job is to interpret faithfully and not to evaluate the mind of the author. We are reproducing briefly and relevantly and not creating anything new. The last golden rule is reduce the passage to its one-third. Unless otherwise indicated, we are supposed to reduce the passage to one-third of its original length. Steps for writing a précis. Précis writing represents the skill of providing short account, giving the main point of a text or a speech or a talk. A proper summary should be longer than 40% of the text. On the other hand, précis writing is more disciplined job. Here are some points which are given as a criteria which should be followed while writing a précis. Start reading the passage. Read the passage twice, slowly and carefully. Read the passage third time. Underline keywords and phrases. Can you figure out the theme? If yes, go ahead. If no, read again. List main points in note form. Checklist against original. Check summary for accuracy against the passage. If yes, it's okay. If no, then you need to edit again what you have written. So friends, these are steps which you need to take care while writing a précis. Do's for a précis. Use your own language as far as possible. The words from the original passage should not be used except where it is absolutely essential. Retain the flow of thoughts. The flow of events, ideas, arguments, etc. must be retained as it was in the original passage. Change it only for the sake of achieving clarity. There should be logical link between the sentences. Use illustrations in compressed form. Draw figures of speech, examples, and illustration. In a passage entirely devoted to the illustration of same idea or argument, use the illustration in the compressed form. Maximum information should be used. Give maximum information within the required limit. The précis should be complete in the sense that all important ideas are reproduced in the limited number of words. Should have proper beginning, middle, and end. It should read like an independent text with proper beginning, middle, and end. use indirect speech as well as write in third person. It is very important to have good vocabulary, for this can help in writing the passage in condensed form. So go through your vocabulary, very important point for Prezi writing. Don'ts for a Prezi writing. Do not copy from the original text. Use your own language. Do not divide the Prezi into paragraphs unless the original passage is very long. Do not change any facts. The information in the given passage should be reproduced only. Do not make any comment or suggestions. Do not give any conclusions or recommendations. You have to stick to the original theme of the author. Thank you. Have a very good day and remain safe.